Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to our Level2B video. Today, we are going to start the unit 12, Never Ever. We focus on the writings poems. So that you guys have to choose the right words in order to write a poem. Okay. And I am Vicheka, the teacher for English at Preglip New Generation School. Okay, and here are our lessons objective. By the end of this lesson, you guys will be able to first make the WH words with correct answers and complete the poem with the correct words. Okay, so I hope you guys can reach these two objectives after watching this video. Okay, so before we start, I just want to review the previous lessons that we talk about transportation and travel. Okay, and we have three transportations, which include bus, train, and planes. So in the bus, we have the word bus stop. In train, we have arrival, and in plane, we also have the word arrival as well. Okay, so anything else beside all of this word can you remember? Okay, so we also have the word airport. Yes, return ticket, boarding pass. Everyone, what is the boarding pass? Yes, I hope you know it. The boarding pass is the ticket or documents that was given or that will be given by the officers at the airport in order to let you to fly. Okay. Next word, railway station. Yes, ticket office. Platforms. Yes, hand luggage. We have the word flight. Yes, and the word departures. Yes, costumes and security check. Okay, and here are all of the words that we have learned in our previous video. So let's move on to the homework that I take this homework from one student, and she created this conversation in the airport. So M represent her friends and me represent herself, and the word A is the assistant at the airport. Okay, so let's start reading this together. There are such a long queue of passengers here. Don't worry, we won't have to wait long. Hello, we would like to check in. Hello, can I see your tickets and passport, please? Of course. How many bags are you going to check in? Just two. Can you put them on the scale, please? Yes, sure. Okay, here's your boarding pass and passport. Okay, thank you. Okay, so here is the conversations that you guys might encounter when you go to the airport or you go to the other country by traveling by plane. Okay, so now let's move on to the next, which is our today lesson. So before we move on into detail, I want you guys to spend time reading this and guess this statement. What is it about? So we have everything is nature. God gave us this creature. Birds fly in the skies. A mountain are so high. Okay, so everyone, after reading this sentence, how do you think? What kinds of sentence are they? Okay, so this one it talk about that we can see the word everything is nature. gives this feature. Birds fly in the sky and our mountains are so high. So this one is about you might see the red the red letters, the red word nature, feature, sky, and high. So the words natures and the word feature somehow sharing the same sound, the same um the same sound as well. But sky and high, it's like um it sounds like if we read this sentence, it sounds something to earth, right? Okay, so this one it talk about. All right, it's so today we are going to start the poems, but we are not going to study on how to write the poem, but we focus on choose the right words in the poems, meaning that you have to choose the right word to complete in the poem. Okay, so here's before we move on into the next, I want you guys to spend time make the question, words, and answers. So the first one has been done for you as the examples. The word what. What is going to a suitcase. So you can create the question. For examples, what are you holding? Might say a suitcase. So we have where, when, why, who, how, which, and whose. So please spend time matching the word with the correct answers. Okay, so everyone might spend only 20 seconds to do this because it's not so hard. Okay, so the word where, everyone. So where is going with the word. So where is talking about the place. So yes, let's go with the word Spain. Where are you going to fly to? For examples. And the word when is asking for. Yes, asking for the time. So it's going to, yes, the last September. And the word why, usually it's asked about the reason, right? Okay, so let's go with the word. Yes, because I need a holiday. And the word who, ask for someone, somebody. So let's go with, yes, the word nobody. Who do you go with? And you might say nobody. Yes. And the word how, yes, how it's going by both. For example, how do you go to Korea, for example? Okay, just kidding. How do you go to um the beach? You might say by boat. Okay, and the next is the word which. So which going with, yes, the word small brown one. So it's talk about the option. So between, for examples, which one do you prefer? So you might say the small brown one. And the word whose is asking for possessive. So the last one, yes, it's mine. Okay. So after we have done this exercise, let's move on to the next, which is the poems that you have to choose the word. Here we have the words in the box, two words. So you guys might choose one word to complete here, and also these two words, you might choose one to complete in this space as well. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So we have 14 spaces that you have to complete the word. Okay, so the first one we have the word afternoons or mornings. Next word we have the word asleep or awake. And next noisy, huge, hotel or place. Photograph, mobile phones, memories, my passport, taxi or lands, plane or sea, always or never, my cousins or the world, my problems or me, nouns, understood, say or discuss, and somebody reach. Okay, so please spend 30. Okay, I might give you 60 seconds to choose the right words to complete in the space. Okay, so now please start. Just guess first. If you are not sure about the words, you can guess because we can also put the word, for example, as number one, I left at 4 in the afternoons or mornings. It can be both, right? So, and the next, when the house was asleep or awake. So, in order to do this, you might spend your time reading the whole poems to get the meanings of the poems so that you can um, apply the word. Yes. Okay, so 60 seconds is gone. So I might ask you to listen and check in order to complete in this poem. So now let's listen together.
Goodbye. Tape script 12.14. A poem. Why did you leave? When did you leave?
I left at 4 in the morning.
When did you leave?
When the house was asleep.
Where have you gone?
To a huge, crowded city.
Where have you gone?
To a place where no one knows me.
What did you take?
Some money, not my mobile phone.
What did you take?
Not much, just memories.
How did you travel?
By taxi, by plane.
How did you travel?
I travelled alone. I have always travelled alone.
Why did you leave?
Because I wanted to see the world.
Why did you leave?
Because nobody listened. No one has ever listened to me.
Why don't they listen?
I don't know. I have never known.
Why don't they listen?
Because I have very little to say.
When are you coming home?
When I have become somebody. Do not wait.
Okay, you might listen to these poems again.
Goodbye. Tape script 12.14. A poem. Why did you leave? When did you leave?
I left at 4 in the morning.
When did you leave?
When the house was asleep.
Where have you gone?
To a huge, crowded city.
Where have you gone?
To a place where no one knows me.
What did you take?
Some money, not my mobile phone.
What did you take?
Not much, just memories.
How did you travel?
By taxi, by plane.
How did you travel?
I travelled alone. I have always travelled alone.
Why did you leave?
Because I wanted to see the world.
Why did you leave?
Because nobody listened. No one has ever listened to me.
Why don't they listen?
I don't know. I have never known.
Why don't they listen?
Because I have very little to say.
When are you coming home?
When I have become somebody. Do not wait.
Okay, so after listening to this, you might know which word is the correct answer in completing the sentence. So the first word, when did you leave? When did you leave? I left at 4 in the morning or in the afternoon, everyone? Okay, yes, in the mornings. When did you leave? when the house was asleep. And where have you gone? To a huge crowded city. Where have you gone? To a place where no one knows me. And next, what did you take? Some money, not my mobile phone. What did you take? Not my just memories. And next, how did you travel? Yes, by taxi and by what everyone? By taxi and by planes. How did you travel? But I travel alone. I always travel alone or I never travel alone, everyone. After the listeners, yes, I have always traveled alone. Why did you leave? Because I wanted to see my cousin or the world. Yes, the world. I wanted to see the world. Why did you leave? Because nobody listens. No one has no. So everyone's no one has never listened to my problems or me. Which one? Yes. No one has ever listened to to me. Why don't they listen? I don't know. I have never known or I have never understood. Yes, I have never known. Why don't they listen? Because I have very little to say or to discuss. I have very little to say. When are you coming home? When I have become somebody. Do not wait. Yes, it's like the message a message from someone that this guy might not come back. That is the message to people that do not wait for him. You can see that when did you leave? When he said that I leave at 4 in the mornings when the house was asleep. Even the house was asleep, he will go at times. And then where have you gone? To the huge crowded city, to the place where nobody know me. He wants to be far away from his current situation, to the place that has nobody know him. And what did you take? He take nothing. Sorry, he take something, some money, but not mobile phones. And don't you think why? What did you take? And not much, just memories. So, he mentioned he might have some memories. He might have his memory, so he might go and take it, but even if he live from his current situations, but he cannot live from his memories, so he also take his memories with him. And how did you travel? By taxi, by planes, and how did you travel? He travels alone. He always travels alone. Why did you leave? Because I wanted to see the world. And why did you leave? Because nobody listened. No one has never listened to me. Okay. So he left because then nobody has never listened to him. And why don't they listen? I don't know. I have never known. Because I have very little to say. And when are you coming home? When I have become somebody. Do not wait. So when he becomes somebody. So imagine in this poem. Do you think he will come back home? After read his poem, do you think he will come back home? Okay, we are not sure, but in this poem he said, when I have become somebody. So when he becomes somebody, he will be back home. So we are not sure what somebody that he is referring to. Okay, so after readings and these poems, I hope you might get some meaning in these poems. And then this poem, we can see that it shares similar structure here. By starting the sentence with W8 words: when, where, what, how, why, and when. So the author created these poems by starting with the W8 word. So sharing the same structures by create the question and answer to the question, and repeat the question and answering in another response. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 7 W8 questions. So in the first one, starting with the word friend, so the author created the same question, but responding by 2 different answers. The same structure happening in this question started with the word where. That where have you gone and where have you gone, the same question, but have 2 different answers. Okay. And following next are all the same. Only the last one is the last sentence that the author used to end these poems by using only the word ones to create only one question. Okay. So in the poems, when you write, you have to think out the structure. What are you going to make the question, or the negative for the positive sentence? So now let's move on to the next, which is the poem completions. So what you have to do here is to complete in this poems. So we have the word: life may not tell me choose my what, but whenever I'll be happy or but, and that is my what. To live hurtful memories or allows them to bother my, the choice is. Okay. So this poem is talking about the life. So the life of someone. So you might choose the words, the suitable word to complete in this poem. Life may not let me choose. Choose what? And let me tell you one thing that it might. And let me tell you one thing in the poem, so you might have to think of the meanings. For example, life may not let me choose what. And then you might think of the words that somehow share similar sound. For example, futures, natures. Yes, these two words somehow share similar sounds, but make sure that the meaning is also suitable when we complete in these poems. Okay, so everyone, you have 50 seconds to find the word to complete in this poem. Yes, this poem talks about life. So life may not let me choose my word. And but whether I be happy or that is my word. Okay. So time is up. Let's check. Okay, you might spend more than this time also that you can pause this video, so you might think of the word before we check the answer. Okay, so now let's check. Life may not let me choose. Yes, choose my lot. Okay, but whether I'll be happy, yes, happy or not, that is my word. Yes, that is my choice. And next, to live hurtful memory. Yes, behind, or allows them to bother my, yes, my mind. The choice is, yes, the choice is mine. So we can see that the word lot and not somehow share similar meanings, and the word behind and mind are as well. So in the poem, so you have to think of a similar words that the similar sounds words so that it sounds like when we write the poems, and also we have to think out the meaning of the poem as well. Okay, so now let's move on to the last slide, which is your homework. So what you have to do in your homework is to answer to the question how to write a poems and what are the elements should be included in the poems. So please explain briefly, okay? How to write a poems and what are the elements should be included in the poems. So please explain briefly, okay? So thank you everyone for watching this video. Goodbye and good luck everyone.